No offense, but that house was a disaster. Do you really think that I wouldn't mind going to such a dirty old house? I would be embarrassed to call anyone if I were you. What are you thinking? I have to leave as soon as you let me inside that house.
So that's why you left all of a sudden? I was a bit surprised when you said you had to leave, but then you said that it was an emergency. So I was worried for you. But you're telling me that's a lie?
I had no choice at that time. I mean, I considered for a moment whether to tell you the truth or not. But I realized that's not something that I should hide from you. It's your parents' house anyway. I don't think I could handle going there in the future. No way.
Excuse me?
I know we went there to tell them we were getting married, but you know. Accepting that your parents live there is asking too much from me. I thought you came from a wealthy family. I'm sorry, but when I saw that house, my thoughts went off.
If that's how you really feel, then whatever. I worked hard to get where I am now. I don't really see what the problem is here.
LOL, don't you see the problem? That's pretty obvious if you ask me. Your parents are poor, they will eventually become our parasites. And besides, doesn't that mean you're not well educated? I can't believe you haven't told me about this. Is this something you say to someone before asking them to get married?
Why are you thinking about this? I just don't understand. Please don't look down on my parents like that. They would never do something like that. And didn't you say that you want to be a full-time housewife? Even if I did give them money, what's wrong with that? They made a lot of sacrifices for me to grow up.
It's fine to want to express gratitude for what they've done for you, but giving them free money only spoils them, right? And that house? What will you do with that house? When no one else lives there, it won't be worth anything anymore.
When no one else lives there. So, have you thought about my parents passing away?
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that. Why are you so surprised? That is just the order of nature. And in the end, you'll end up with a liability instead of an actual inheritance. We don't need that house.
I cannot believe you. Is that your true self? And we must go there to tell my parents about our marriage. But you haven't even met them yet. Although they did try to make time for us.
Please. Just imagining your poor parents coming to pick me up in that shack is enough to make me shiver. Maybe I couldn't continue a decent conversation because I was so shocked about it all. There is no way I can join a family like that.
You haven't even met my parents yet and you're already looking down on them. Stop now.
I'm sure nothing will change meeting them. That house alone proves you are lowly. How far can you go? I remember you told me that your house is huge. That's why I think you really have the money. Oh my gosh, I was wrong.
I have not lied. Our house is as big as you see. And you keep talking about how poor we are, but we're not as poor as you think we are.
Okay, so the house is big. But even so, things are still falling apart. It doesn't really matter how big the house is if it's actually a haunted house at this point. To be honest, I'm very disappointed in you, Isaac. I thought I could finally become a housewife and live a good life. That is my dream.
That is my intention. To provide you with a good life. I want to make sure you feel comfortable and have the freedom to do what you like. I have resolved to do whatever it takes to make you happy. Even about the house, you are the one to say you like it.
What? When did I say I love that old house? As I said, I want to live in a big house with a backyard pool. That is my dream.
Yeah, but don't you remember what we were talking about? You said you want to go to a place with real ghosts? You said you love haunted houses. And that you want to experience the thrill of doing something that has to do with horror.
Come on! Yeah, I guess I said that, but why am I excited about my in-laws living in a haunted house?
It's not really a haunted house, but that's okay. I think it would be perfect to experience something a little bit horror-related. That's why I think you'll be happy the moment you see the house.
Never! Isaac, you've been planning these cute surprises for me since we started dating. It makes me truly happy. This time, however, it failed miserably.
Huh. I understand. I think that's an interesting idea. I guess I was wrong. I really don't imagine that you'd react this way.
I really don't understand what's going on in your head. Who will be happy with such a surprise?
I guess so. Now that I've had time to process things, I think I've made the wrong decision. Apologies for all the trouble.
I'm really glad I got to know about your parents before we got married. How miserable I'd be if I married you. I broke off the engagement.
Are you sure yet? I promise, you will regret it.
That's right. Honestly, this isn't the first time I've had doubts. You never really did it for me. I'm not interested in marrying a mediocre guy like you. I've been trying to turn a blind eye because you always do nice things for me here. But it seems like there are more cons than advantages to marrying you at this point.
So that's what you think about me. Fine, I fully understand the situation now. The marriage has been annulled.
Good. Everything will be resolved after that. Don't ever speak to me again. Please don't bother me anymore. I don't feel anything for you anymore.
Don't worry. I won't have anything related to you from now on. Thanks for everything.
A few months later.
Thanks for paying for my meal today. I had such an amazing time. I really can't stop smiling when I'm with you, Isaac. I have been very happy. I don't even remember when was the last time I laughed this much.
Oh no, I'm the one to thank you, Kaylin. I really want to see you again. And I have to say, spending time with you made me realize what an amazing person you are. Thank you for being very honest and kind.
Oh so? You speak so sweetly. I didn't even know you were dating Orla before until I found out at our school reunion not too long ago. And after falling in love with her, you start joking around about your parents' haunted house. I think it's embarrassing that she broke up with you just because of that.
Oh, you're so nice, Kaylin. I really appreciate you saying that. And I'm sorry for checking you out for a second there.
Oh, don't worry about me. It wasn't long before it happened to Orla. I'm sure you want to check in on anyone after what happened. But boy, I was surprised to know the truth of it all. I really can't stop smiling. I have to say, you're a genius.
I believe in you, Kaylin. That's why it's so easy to tell you the whole story, including the truth about my situation. I wanted to see how you would react when you heard that my parents' house was dilapidated. I know I haven't been very honest. I want to test how much I can trust you. That's why I'm really sorry about that.
Oh my gosh, Isaac. I really don't mind at all. I'm just excited at the thought that maybe one day I can go to that old house with you. I would really like to see it.
Yes, of course. The day we go home together may not be far in the future. I will definitely plan something soon. I won't keep you waiting long.
Oh yes. I'm glad to hear that. I guess that means I can hope for our future together?
Of course. I won't let you down.
A few weeks later.
What the hell is that, Isaac? What's happening? You lied to me? I've been hearing everything from Kaylin. Are you telling me that the house you brought me to isn't really your parents' house?
Sorry, but who is this?
I'm your fiancée, Orla.
Oh, Orla. The girl with whom I broke up. We aren't engaged anymore, remember?
I changed my thinking. Marrying you would not be such a bad idea. We should come back together.
Thanks, but it's not necessary. What do you consider me to be? I won't come back to you after everything you put me through. I really feel like I made the right choice when I broke up with you. Everything has been great in my life since then. You showing up in my life again is truly a nuisance more than anything.
The only reason why we broke up is because you made me misunderstand the whole situation with your parents' house. Who would have guessed that the place we were in was an area built for the family cat?
If I tell you again, it used to be a cat house. But no one has lived there for some time.
Why did you hide that from me? And a house of a cat? What the hell?
That's what it is. A house for a cat to stay. We used to have a cat that liked to live alone. That old wooden house is precisely the place where the cat feels safe. It will just sleep on the blanket we spread by the window, right where the sun is shining. The cute guy always looks so cozy and relaxed.
So where is the cat now?
It died a few years ago. We were too upset to do anything about the house. I really couldn't bear to forget it. And it feels weird getting a new cat. So we left the house as a memento.
Why didn't you tell me about this earlier? I actually think it's your parents' house.
Technically, it's part of my parents' home. It is located on my parents' land. That's their property.
I guess you weren't lying when you said that your parents' house was huge.
You were running away before I could explain anything to you.
Of course. Why should I stay when I get the impression that your parents sleep in a house that looks like something out of a horror movie? Anybody will run away.
You told me you like horror things, so I really think you'll laugh and have a good time. It was supposed to be just a little joke. I was going to scare you a little when you ran out the door. You didn't even give me a chance to finish the joke, for crying out loud.
There's nothing funny about what you've been trying to do. I can't believe you're going to plan something so stupid.
I think you like the unexpected. That's why I think taking you to a spooky-looking house will make you happy. And I want to see how you will react when I say my parents live there. I admit I'm curious about your reaction, but I don't think things will end up this way.
Either way, tell me about your parents' real house. How is it?
It's quite modern and luxurious. All walls are white and there's a large swimming pool in the backyard. If I say so myself, that's pretty cool because it's new and all. Like houses in magazines.
Are you serious? Do you have a swimming pool in your backyard? I think you just made it up to make yourself look better.
Why would I lie about that when I'm ready to show you the house and everything? I have scheduled you a tour of the whole house that day. But I guess in the end my surprise was too much of a surprise.
Yes, it really is too much. Thanks to you, I completely misunderstood and missed such a wonderful opportunity. If you were more honest about everything, this would never have happened. All is your fault.
Sure enough, I admit I was partly at fault for not explaining things clearly. But I saw your true face that day. I really wasn't expecting that. I'm really glad things turned out the way they did. Who knows how miserable I might be if I marry you. Just thinking about it gives me goosebumps.
Excuse me? I'll let you know that I'm not the exception here. Anyone would react the same way I did. Who would rejoice with such a surprise? Everything will end the same way even if it's not me.
I don't think so. If it were Kaylin, I'm sure she wouldn't have reacted like that. I am sure about that.
How can you say it with such confidence?
I'm sure she'll be a bit surprised when she sees that dilapidated house. But she will definitely laugh after scaring her. Even if it's true that my parents actually live there. She will not judge it like you.
I don't know about that. How can you be sure?
She heard me talk about how you reacted when you saw the house and how you looked down on my parents. She didn't even ask me about the actual house and if it really was that bad. I tested her by telling her that the house was old and everything was falling apart. Do you know what she says? She said that she wanted to work hard to help me buy a nice house for my parents.
Really? Did she say that? I can't imagine someone reacting like that.
I'm sure someone like you wouldn't have been able to imagine such a reaction. You think only of yourself and what you can get from others. A self-centered person like you could never understand someone as reliable as Kaylin.
You do not need to go that far. I have to look after myself first, you know. What's wrong with ensuring that I make the right decisions for my future? Of course, I would be very upset if my boyfriend's parents didn't have money.
I can understand your feelings. But does that give you the right to belittle people and judge them? You tell me that I'm a mean guy, that I'm not worth your time because I don't have any money. And you make fun of my parents in front of me? I'm really shocked to hear that you really are such a rude person.
It was just a one-time thing. You know, my feelings are the best. I was really shocked. I was meant to live a comfortable life as a stay-at-home wife. I feel devastated at the thought of giving up on my dream.
Just so you know, I am ready for you to have that good and comfortable life. I'm even thinking of building a new home for you, a cat's home, if that's what you want. That was the whole surprise. But you haven't gotten to figure that out, have you?
That is so perfect. We should get back together, don't you? As long as we get to live in a new home, I have no complaints. I'll apologize for what happened in the past. I'm sorry, okay?
I'm really glad I learned about your personality before I married you. Because of all that has happened, I now have the opportunity to marry someone as amazing as Kaylin. A person I can respect and trust.
No. Don't decide everything in a hurry. Please, listen to what I have to say.
You never listen to me. Why do I have to listen to anything you have to say at this point? After all the mess you said, I'm just amazed that you had the guts to ask to get back together. If you hate poor people so much, why don't you just get a job and earn your own money? And if you at least want to get married someday, you'd better fix that character of yours.
After that, Isaac blocks Orla's number. She couldn't accept the sudden change and her heart was filled with regret. She's been trying to find a new guy to date so that she can forget about Isaac, but no one can compare to him. In fact, her feelings for him and remorse for her actions are growing stronger. Even though she was given the perfect chance to have a happy married life, in the end her bad personality ruined everything. It looks like it's going to take a long time for her to recover from this, but what can we say?
Hey, Gladys. How have you been? Is everything all right?
Hi, Hebe. I'm doing well, thank you for asking. It has been quite busy lately with the wedding preparations, but overall, I'm doing fine. How about you?
I'm good too, thanks for asking. So, I heard you and Jeffrey are going on your honeymoon soon. Where are you two planning to go?
Oh, we've actually decided to go to France next month. We want to visit some beautiful places like Paris, the French Riviera, and maybe even the countryside. It's going to be a romantic trip.
That sounds amazing. France has so much to offer. I've always wanted to visit. Hey, do you think I could come along? I've been really interested in exploring Dharma, and it would be a great opportunity for me to learn more.
Hebe, I appreciate your interest in Dharma, but this trip is meant to be a honeymoon for Jeffrey and me. It's a special time for us as a newly married couple, and we were looking forward to spending it together.
I understand that, Gladys, but I've been so fascinated by Dharma lately, and I feel like this trip would be an incredible chance for me to explore and deepen my understanding. Plus, I promise not to intrude on your personal time together.
Hebe, it's not about intruding or anything like that. This trip is meant for us as a couple to create memories and strengthen our bond. We've been planning this for a long time, and it's important for us to have this time alone. I hope you understand.
Gladys, why do you look so serious? We're family, and if I join you on your honeymoon, we can have a great time together without any worries. You don't have to be so concerned.
Hebe, I appreciate your enthusiasm, but our honeymoon is a special time for Jeffrey and me. We want to enjoy our own space and have some privacy. It's important for us to have this time alone as newlyweds.
I understand, Gladys, but it's not like I'll be intruding on your personal space. We can still hang out and have fun without being a bother. Imagine the adventures we could have together.
Hebe, I know you mean well, but it's not just about physically being together. Your presence, even as family, can still influence the dynamics between Jeffrey and me. We want to fully immerse ourselves in this experience as a couple without any distractions.
But it's so simple, Gladys. We can make an agreement that I won't disturb you and Jeffrey. I can even pretend not to know you on the flight and respect your privacy during the trip. We can still have fun together without compromising your alone time.
It's not just about pretending or making agreements. Our honeymoon is a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and we want to cherish it without any external influences. We appreciate your understanding and support in giving us this space.
You're overdoing it. I'll keep my distance from you.
Okay, Hebe. After considering your request, I'm willing to let you come on our trip. However, I have a few conditions that I hope you will respect. First, you must understand that Jeffrey and I want to have our own private space during the vacation. We don't want to be disturbed or have any intrusions.
Thank you, Gladys. I promise I won't disturb your private space. I understand the importance of having that alone time with Jeffrey. You have my word.
Good to hear that, Hebe. Also, I want to clarify that you are only allowed to be on the same flight as us. We won't be staying together or sharing accommodation during the trip. We will have our own separate arrangements.
I completely understand, Gladys. I'll book my own accommodation and respect your need for privacy. You and Jeffrey can enjoy your honeymoon while I have my own vacation.
That's what I'm hoping for, Hebe. Please make sure you handle all the arrangements yourself, including the furniture and expenses. I want to avoid any additional responsibilities or distractions during our vacation.
Absolutely, Gladys. I'll take care of everything, and you won't have to worry about a thing. This trip will be about you and Jeffrey, and I won't interfere with your plans.
Thank you, Hebe. I appreciate your understanding and respecting our boundaries. Let's make sure we have a clear understanding of each other's expectations, and I hope we can all enjoy our vacations without any disturbances.
Agreed, Gladys. I'm glad we could come to an understanding. I'll make sure not to disturb your vacation and to respect your privacy. Let's have a great time and create wonderful memories on our separate journeys.
The next morning,
Gladys, I forgot the money. Can you help me with the ticket?
I'm sorry to hear that you forgot to bring the money for the plane ticket, but I can't transfer the funds to you in advance. I clearly mentioned before that you should have everything prepared before the trip, including the necessary funds.
I understand, Gladys, but it was an honest mistake. Can't you make an exception this time and help me out? I promise to pay you back as soon as possible. So I think you should help me, not blame me, right?
It's not about the money, Hebe. It's about the principle. I expect you to be responsible and make all the necessary arrangements before the trip. I can't keep bailing you out every time something goes wrong.
This is really disappointing, Gladys. We're sisters, and I thought you would be more understanding and supportive. It seems like you're being selfish and don't want to include me in your trip.
It's not about excluding you, Hebe. This trip is meant for me and my wife to enjoy our honeymoon. I have planned and saved for it, and I want to have a peaceful and uninterrupted time with her. It has nothing to do with showing off or being selfish.
Well, maybe you should think about family and sisterhood instead of just focusing on yourself. We used to do everything together, and now you're leaving me out because of a small mistake.
It's not about leaving you out, Hebe. It's about respecting each other's boundaries and decisions. I expect you to respect my time and money as well. We can plan a trip together in the future, but for now, I need to stick to my original plans.
I understand your point, Gladys, but it still feels hurtful. I wish you would consider being more flexible and understanding. Family should come first.
We may have different opinions on this matter, but it doesn't mean that either of us is entirely right or wrong. Let's take some time to cool down and perhaps revisit this conversation when we're both calmer.
Fine, Gladys. You should take a look at yourself. I'm your sister. You have to help me, not refuse with the stupid excuse of needing some privacy. It's stupid that you won't help me at all.
I think you should respect me, not blame each other. After that, I went on a honeymoon with my husband to France. I didn't expect it to not stop at Hebe bothering me.
Gladys, there's something I need to share with you, but I found it difficult to discuss it in person, so I decided to text you instead.
What's going on, Jeffrey? You have me worried now. Please tell me what happened.
Over the past couple of days, Hebe has been reaching out to me, saying some rather peculiar things about you.
What? How could Hebe do something like that to me? What exactly did Hebe say?
Hebe claimed that you didn't allow them to join us on our honeymoon and that you refused to pay for Hebe's plane ticket, leaving them stranded at the airport.
This is outrageous. Hebe is making up stories about me. I clearly communicated with Hebe about the trip, and I asked them to take care of their own expenses. Now they're twisting the truth?
That's what Hebe told me. It seems like there has been a disagreement between you and Hebe about this matter.
I can't believe Hebe would fabricate such things. I never said they couldn't come with us, but I expected them to take responsibility for their own arrangements. This is incredibly unfair.
I understand your frustration, Gladys. It's unjust for Hebe to shift the blame onto you when they failed to meet the expectations you set. I wanted to inform you about this situation so we can address it together. Hebe told me that you didn't allow him to go with us on our honeymoon and that you didn't pay for his plane ticket, leaving him alone at the airport. Hebe seemed really upset about it.
That's outrageous. Hebe is making up stories about me. I specifically told Hebe to prepare the money and the plane ticket beforehand. Hebe said he forgot and now expects me to cover the expenses?
That's exactly what Hebe told me. It seems like Hebe and you got into a fight about this matter.
I can't believe Hebe would twist the truth like that. I never denied Hebe's presence on our honeymoon, but I also can't be responsible for their lack of preparation. This is incredibly unfair.
I agree, Gladys. It's unfair for Hebe to put the blame on you when they failed to meet the requirements you set. I wanted to let you know about this situation so we can address it together. I believe you. But Hebe insists that they forgot to make the arrangements and now wants you to pay for their ticket.
This is absurd. I am not responsible for Hebe's forgetfulness or their lack of preparation. It's unfair for Hebe to put the blame on me and create a fight over something that is their own responsibility.
I understand your frustration, Gladys. It's important to address this calmly and find a way to resolve the misunderstanding between you and Hebe.
I agree, Jeffrey. I am willing to talk to Hebe and clarify the situation. But it's disheartening that Hebe would make up such stories and try to manipulate the situation.
Let's approach Hebe with a calm and understanding attitude. We need to express our feelings and explain our side of the story. Hopefully, we can find a resolution and mend our relationship with Hebe.
I appreciate your support, Jeffrey. It's just disappointing that this issue has caused a rift between us and Hebe. Family should be able to communicate and resolve conflicts without resorting to accusations and fights.
I completely agree, Gladys. Let's address this with open hearts and try to find a way to reconcile with Hebe. We'll work through this together, and hopefully, we can mend the trust within our family.
I decided to text Hebe to clarify everything she had done to me. Hebe, why did you text my husband and say such foolish things? What were you thinking?
I was just telling the truth, Gladys. You refused to give me the fare, and you left me stranded at the airport.
That's not true. I told you to prepare your own money and plane tickets. You conveniently forgot and expected me to pay for everything. And now you're spreading lies to my husband.
Well, if you had just paid for my ticket like a good sister would, none of this would have happened. I had to find a way to get your attention.
This is not about attention. This is about you being irresponsible and expecting others to clean up after you. I can't believe you would stoop so low as to involve my husband in our personal matters.
I didn't expect you to react this way. I thought you would understand and help me out.
You need to take responsibility for your actions, Hebe. I'm tired of constantly bailing you out. It's time for you to grow up and face the consequences of your choices.
All right, Gladys. What I asked for was very simple. Buy cosmetics and handbags in France, and of course I don't give you a dime.
Hebe, I can't believe you're making such outrageous demands. It's completely unreasonable for you to expect me to buy cosmetics and bags for you in France without contributing anything.
Why not, Gladys? You have the means to fulfill my wishes, and it wouldn't be a big deal for you. After all, we're family.
This is outrageous. You expect me to fund your shopping spree without any consideration for my own expenses and priorities. I'm not responsible for fulfilling your materialistic desires, Hebe. Hebe, you're being delusional if you think I'm going to finance your luxury shopping spree. It's not my responsibility to satisfy your materialistic desires. I have my own expenses and priorities to take care of.
But Gladys, it's just a small favor. You know I don't have the means to afford these things myself. It would mean a lot to me if you could do this.
It's not about the size of the favor, Hebe. It's about the principle. You can't expect me to bear the financial burden for your wants while you contribute nothing. It's simply not fair.
Well, I thought you would understand and help me out. But if you're going to be so selfish, then I guess I'll have to find another way to get what I want.
I can't believe you're resorting to manipulation and emotional blackmail, Hebe. This is not how family should treat each other. I won't allow you to take advantage of me.
Fine, if you're not willing to help, then I'll figure something out on my own.
Hebe, I can't believe you're threatening to fabricate lies about my husband just to ruin our relationship. That's incredibly spiteful and deceitful. I never expected you to stoop so low. Supporting each other doesn't mean blindly catering to unreasonable demands. I'm disappointed in your attitude, Hebe.
Well, if you're not willing to meet my demands, then I'll make sure your husband knows what kind of person you are. I'll say whatever it takes to turn him against you.
Is that how little you value our bond as siblings? To resort to manipulation and lies to get what you want? I'm deeply disappointed.
You brought this upon yourself, Gladys. If you won't give me what I deserve, then I'll make sure you suffer the consequences.
You can try all you want, Hebe, but I won't let you destroy the trust and love I have with my husband. I'll find a way to protect him from your deceitful tactics.
We'll see about that, Gladys. Just remember, I'm capable of exposing the truth and tearing your life apart.
I never thought it would come to this, Hebe. I always believed in the strength of our family bond, but your actions have shattered that trust. I hope one day you realize the harm you're causing and find a better way to resolve your own issues.
Don't expect me to regret my choices, Gladys. You'll see the consequences of your refusal to comply with my demands.
I won't let your vindictiveness dictate my happiness. I'll protect my family and our integrity from your destructive intentions. Goodbye, Hebe. I texted my mom and told her all about what Hebe had done to find a way to talk to her. After listening, my mother comforted me and said she would remind Hebe of this.
Gladys, what did you say to Mom? She just texted me scolding me and said she's cutting off all support. Did you tell her something? How dare you tell Mom this?
Hebe, I didn't say anything to Mom. You can't just put the blame on me without knowing the whole situation. I didn't have any involvement in the text you received from her.
How can you deny it, Gladys? It's too much of a coincidence that right after our argument, Mom suddenly texts me and cuts off all support. You must have said something to her.
Hebe, I never expected our conversation to escalate to this point. But let me be clear, I didn't say anything to our mother to make her scold you or cut off your support. You need to understand that your actions have consequences, and it's not my responsibility to bail you out every time you run out of money or make poor decisions.
How can you say that, Gladys? You're my sister, and you should be there to support me in times of need. Instead, you've turned your back on me and caused me to face the consequences alone.
I've always been there for you, but I can't enable your irresponsible behavior anymore. It's time for you to take responsibility for your actions and learn to prioritize your financial obligations and family responsibilities.
You're being selfish, Gladys. You only care about yourself and your own agenda. You don't understand the struggles I'm going through. I demand that you help me, or else I'll make sure everyone knows how heartless you are.
Threatening and manipulating me won't solve anything, Hebe. It's time for you to grow up and start making better choices. I won't pay for the consequences of your actions anymore.
Don't you dare pretend to be concerned about me, Gladys. Your actions have consequences too, and you'll have to pay for what you've done to me.
I'm disappointed in your approach, Hebe. Instead of reflecting on your own behavior, you're trying to shift the blame onto me. I won't let your threats dictate my actions. I hope one day you'll understand the importance of personal responsibility and learn from your mistakes.
I don't need your fake concern, Gladys. Just remember, you'll pay for this, one way or another. Don't think you can get away with treating me this way.
I understand that it's frustrating for you, Hebe, but I assure you I had no part in it. Mom is her own person, and she makes her own decisions. I can't control what she does or says.
You're so selfish, Gladys. You never think about anyone else but yourself. Instead of helping me, you've caused me to be scolded by Mom and have all my support cut off for this month and the following months.
That's not true, Hebe. I've always tried to help and support you, but I can't always fix the consequences of your actions. It's time for you to take responsibility for your own choices and learn to manage your own finances.
Don't lecture me about responsibility, Gladys. You're just trying to avoid taking any responsibility yourself. You're supposed to be my sister, but you're acting like you don't care about me at all.
It's not about avoiding responsibility, Hebe. I've tried to guide you and offer advice, But you seem more interested in spending money and indulging in luxuries rather than taking care of your obligations to our parents and yourself. I can't enable that behavior any longer.
Well, I hope you're happy with yourself, Gladys. Your actions have consequences too, and you'll have to pay for what you've done to me.
I'm sorry you feel that way, Hebe. I truly hope you can understand that I want what's best for you in the long run. I can't support your irresponsible choices anymore. Maybe it's time for both of us to take a step back and reevaluate our relationship.
Don't think you can just walk away from this, Gladys. I won't forget what you've done. You'll have to face the consequences of your actions.
I understand that you're upset, Hebe, but I won't be threatened or blamed unjustly. I hope we can find a way to resolve our differences in the future, but for now, I need some space. I heard that Hebe's phone was confiscated by her mother and her living expenses were cut off for 3 months. No. She must be very angry with me, but I think if I go back I will still do the same. Do you agree with my approach? Please leave a comment to let me know.
Hey Matilda, your friend is Selena, right?
Yes, I am friends with Selena. Why do you ask?
Selena is the regional manager at the company where I work. I thought you might know her since you work there too.
Oh, really? That's fortunate then. It's always nice to have a friend in a higher position.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I want you to talk to Selena and persuade her to promote me to the assistant manager position at the company. I believe having you vouch for me will make a difference.
Brian, I appreciate your confidence in me, but I can't do that. I don't think you're ready for a promotion to assistant manager. There are others who are more qualified and have put in the necessary work.
How dare you say that? You're supposed to support me and help me advance in my career. All you do is hold me back and bother me.
Brian, I want what's best for you, but I also believe in being honest. I don't think you currently possess the skills and experience required for that position. It wouldn't be fair to others who have worked hard to earn it.
You're just jealous and trying to sabotage my progress. You're supposed to be on my side.
Brian, this has nothing to do with jealousy. I care about your success, but I believe in merit and fairness. I won't compromise my integrity by recommending someone who isn't qualified.
Well, if you won't support me, then I'll find another way to get ahead. You'll regret holding me back.
Brian, it's not about holding you back. It's about ensuring that promotions are based on merit and qualifications. I want you to succeed, but it has to be done the right way.
You stop talking nonsense. Stop talking about this. Do you have money?
No. Do you think this house has money for you to use? Huh, so now you're asking me for money? You've got some nerve, Brian. You're just as useless as I am, huh? Spending all day wasting the money you have.
Don't you dare talk to me like that, Matilda. I work hard for that money, and I deserve to spend it however I want.
Work hard? All I see is you gambling it away and drowning yourself in alcohol. I'm trying to manage our expenses and provide for our family, but you keep wasting it all.
Oh, spare me your lectures, Matilda. You're always complaining, but what do you contribute? Just lounging around the house all day, doing nothing.
Excuse me? I take care of the household and our children. I make sure they have what they need for school and their future. It's clear you have no regard for anyone but yourself.
Don't act like you're some saint, Matilda. You're just as guilty as I am for our financial troubles.
I've tried my best, Brian, while you continue to squander our money. I won't enable your destructive habits anymore. The money we have left needs to be used responsibly, not for your reckless behavior.
Fine, do whatever you want. Just know that your precious kids won't have everything they need because of your stubbornness.
Don't you dare blame me for your shortcomings, Brian. I'll make sure our children have a bright future, with or without your support.
We'll see about that, Matilda. Just remember, your actions have consequences.
I'm not afraid of your empty threats, Brian. I'll do what's best for our family, even if it means standing up to you.
You stop singing all day long. I've been working all day because of this house. You keep complaining about things. Have you tried to see yourself as the parasite in my life?
How dare you insult me like that? All I do isn't our family? Or do you think I depend on you so you have the right to insult me? Brian, I understand that you're frustrated, but you're not seeing the bigger picture. It's not about me wanting to sabotage anything or not helping. It's about integrity and fairness.
Integrity and fairness? Are you stupid? What good are they if they don't help me? If you simply told Selena that I'm your husband and I want a promotion, she would surely help. But why do you keep refusing the obvious? Are you trying to ruin our family?
Brian, it's not as simple as you make it sound. Just because I tell Selena we're married doesn't mean she'll automatically promote you. It's not fair to others who have worked hard and deserve the promotion based on their qualifications.
So, you're saying I'm not qualified? You think I'm incapable? How dare you, Matilda? I work hard, and if you helped me, I could make more money to support our family.
Brian, it's not about capability. It's about your habits. Even if you had more money, you would still gamble and drink it away. I don't see the effort from you to change, so how can I help?
You think I'm incapable of change? You're just being ignorant. All you do is criticize and destroy everything for the family.
Brian, it's not about destroying anything. I want what's best for our family, but I won't compromise my values or risk others' opportunities for a promotion that you may not be ready for.
You don't understand anything. You're foolish to think that you're helping by not doing anything. You only know how to ruin everything for everyone.
I can't believe you're making excuses again. During our wedding ceremony, you promised that when we had children, you would come home and help with the housework. But where are you when I need your support?
I'm busy with work too, you know. You should understand that and know what needs to be done. I can't be expected to do everything.
Understand? You want me to understand? I understand that you come home and bury yourself in your phone, playing games or scrolling through social media, while I'm left to handle all the household chores and take care of our children. It's not fair.
I work hard too, Matilda. I'm stressed out, and when I come home, I need some time to relax. You should be more understanding.
More understanding? How much more understanding can I be? I work hard all day, and then I come home to more work. And what about your promise to help? It's like you conveniently forgot all about it.
Look, I'm sorry if I haven't been as helpful as I should be. But you can't expect me to do everything exactly as you want it. We both have responsibilities, and it's about finding a balance.
Balance? What balance? It feels like I'm shouldering all the responsibilities while you do whatever you please. I'm tired, Brian. I'm tired of waiting for you to step up and fulfill your promises.
Maybe you should take a look at yourself too, Matilda. It's not just about me. We both have our shortcomings, and instead of blaming me all the time, maybe you should examine yourself.
I can't believe you're turning this around on me. I've been doing my best, juggling work and taking care of our family. But it seems like you don't even care. I'm tired of waiting for you to change.
Fine, if that's how you feel. Maybe I should take a closer look at myself, and you can do the same. We need to find a way to communicate better and support each other.
This morning I just received a message from Selena informing that Brian did not come to work this week, late in the afternoon. When people asked him, he bossily replied that he knew Selena so he liked it. I was surprised and angry that he dared to do so. I immediately texted him to question him for his lack of responsibility to myself and the company. Brian, where are you right now? Why aren't you at work?
I'm at a cafe nearby. I took a day off because I needed a break.
Is it true that you only take one day off, not every morning in the morning?
What is this? Did Selena tell you? Is she weird?
A break? We have bills to pay and responsibilities to fulfill. How can you just take a day off without discussing it with me?
I've been feeling stressed out and overwhelmed lately. I thought a day off would help me recharge and come back stronger.
Whereas you always come home late, so why?
Oh, you're talking about that? I never claimed I'd be home earlier. I just said I attempted to be home earlier. Don't give me that nonsense.
You haven't even been home one time and you're talking back to me? Don't be so arrogant around me.
Why are you being so impolite? How much alcohol have you consumed? I'm simply fatigued from a hard week of work.
I'm just having a little something to take the edge off. Why are you whining since you haven't changed anything since we discussed last week?
I only wanted you to come home more frequently, but nothing has changed. It's not my fault that I need a break. Just get off my case.
You haven't been around since I gave birth. You're constantly out drinking. Don't you care about your children? Don't you want to be a part of their lives?
I mean, they're constantly making problems getting home, and having to cope with a wailing child all night seems like a nightmare to me. Don't say that. I realize you have a job to keep up, but never say that about our children.
I don't care if you're drunk. Don't irritate me with that type of language. Is that intended to intimidate me? I'm not sure who you think you are, but you're the one profiting from my money, and you've drank much too much.
I don't have time dealing with this issue right here. Instead, I'll call you tomorrow.
You haven't even been home once, and you're talking back to me? Don't be so arrogant around me. Why are you being so impolite? How much alcohol have you consumed? I'm simply fatigued from a hard week of work. I merely wished you to come home every so often, but nothing has occurred.
It isn't my mistake.
I gave birth to your children, and you're constantly out drinking, as if you don't give a damn about them.
I mean, they're constantly making problems going home, and having to deal with a wailing child all night seems like a nightmare to me, don't you think? I realize you have a job to perform, but don't say such about our children.
I don't care if you're drunk. Don't irritate me with that type of language. Is that intended to intimidate me?
I'm not sure who you believe you are, but you're the one that benefits from my money.
What? You really have drunk too much. I'm not going to deal with this right now. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Don't bother waiting. I'll just tell you how I feel right now. You're the selfish one around here, and I'm tired of it.
You simply do chores and look after the kids. I'm the one who has to do the hard work, but all you do is boss me about. That's not what I'm trying to accomplish. It's always what you're trying to do. Don't you realize that who do you suppose pays the bills around here?
Well, I appreciate that you are looking after us by working hard at your job, but you were the one who advised me I should resign. I merely intended to take maternity leave and then return to work when it was finished.
I wanted you home since you're the lady of the house and working makes no sense.
It'd be humiliating, and you've never been a particularly good worker, so there's no way you can do both. Just let me do my part while you do yours. I don't want to hear any more back and forth about this. Are you usually like this when you go out drinking for work? This isn't for work, so don't try to be so snappy it's obnoxious.
I was correct. Finally, you won't be hearing about this again, so I'd best not mention it. I have no intention of changing what I've been doing. I recognize that now. I'm delighted we finally to an agreement on why you're phoning me. I'm out drinking again, so please leave me alone.
If you see me calling, please pick up, and what's with your tone? Are you still drunk? What's the deal with this attitude? I thought you'd figured it out by now, yet you call again.
I need to remind you of my position and who you are right now.
I don't think someone who doesn't care for their children has the right to say don't mess with me. You believe this is a joke. You're the parasite in our relationship. Enough back and forth. Just take care of the house and the kids. Already parasite? Are you referring to your wife?
I am all you do is take from me, and you're never appreciative for what I do. So if that's what you truly believe, you should be canceled.
Are you suggesting that we get a divorce, Brian?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. I'm tired of this, Matilda. I compare you to other wives who show care and consideration for their husbands, who don't constantly call and bother them.
If you want a divorce, then let's go ahead and work with a lawyer to start the proceedings. I've had enough of putting up with you, Brian.
I'm feeling frustrated too, Matilda. It seems like we've both had to endure too much in this relationship.
Fine. If that's what you really want, then let's not waste any more time. We'll settle this legally.
I never thought it would come to this, but it seems like we've reached a breaking point. We can't continue living like this.
It's unfortunate that it has come to this, Brian. I never expected our marriage to end this way.
Neither did I, Matilda. It's clear that we have both grown apart and have different expectations from each other.
We should have addressed these issues earlier instead of letting them build up to this point. But now, it seems like divorce is the only way forward.
I agree. It's time for both of us to seek our own happiness and find a path that leads to a better future.
A month later, the court decided to grant us a divorce because of the difference in thinking. The two children were allowed to follow me away from their abusive and alcoholic father. Selena texted me to comfort me and give me unexpected news.
Hey Matilda, how have you been? How's your health and the kids?
Hi, Selena! We're doing well, thank you. The kids are growing up so fast, and we're adjusting to our new life.
That's great to hear. I've been meaning to talk to you about something concerning Brian. I found out that he was actually fired from the company.
Fired? What happened to Brian?
Well, after the divorce, things took a turn for the worse. Brian started taking frequent breaks from work to gamble and drink. His behavior began affecting his performance, and it became a significant issue at the company.
Oh, I had no idea it had gotten that bad. I always hoped he would change for the better.
Unfortunately, it seems like things escalated. Last month, there was a general meeting, and Brian's recent conduct, including his comments from March, led to a decision to terminate his employment. The Human Resources Director had to intervene.
It's disheartening to hear. I suppose it's a lesson for Brian to realize the consequences of his actions and to mature earlier.
Absolutely, sometimes life gives us these lessons, and it's important to learn from them. In a way, you're fortunate to have separated from someone who had such detrimental behavior.
It's true. As difficult as it was, I now realize it was the right decision. I hope Brian finds a way to turn his life around and grow from this experience.
We can only hope for the best for him. In the meantime, focus on your own well-being and the happiness of your children. You deserve it, Matilda.
Thank you, Selena. Your support means a lot to me. Selena, you mentioned that you had something to tell me. What is it?
Well, there's an internship opportunity at my company, and I thought you might be interested. Would you like to join?
I'm not sure if I'm capable of taking on an internship. Do you think I would be a good fit?
I know your abilities, Matilda, and that's precisely why I want to offer you this opportunity. I believe it could be a great chance for you to further develop yourself.
You really think so? It's been a while since I've worked in a professional setting, but I do miss that sense of growth and accomplishment.
Absolutely. I've seen your potential, and I know you can handle it. Plus, it's a chance to expand your skills and gain new experiences. Don't doubt yourself, Matilda.
You're right, Selena. I shouldn't underestimate my capabilities. I trust your judgment, and I appreciate you thinking of me. I'm ready to embrace this opportunity and see where it takes me.
That's the spirit, Matilda. I'm thrilled that you're on board. I'll provide you with all the necessary information, and I'll be here to support you every step of the way.
Thank you so much, Selena. Your belief in me means a lot, and I'm grateful for this chance to grow both personally and professionally.
You deserve it, Matilda. I'm excited to see how you flourish in this internship. Let's make the most of this opportunity together.
After 2 years of working at Selena Company, I worked hard to be able to step up to the position of manager that Brian dreamed of with his own strength. After all, I and my daughter was better thanks to Selena's help, was able to change her life after 2 years. And Brian was always trying to annoy us, but I had a new happiness that wasn't Brian.